What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to say, if you're someone that you're into those legends of the game, I'm talking about players from the 60s through the early 2000s, or if you're someone that's younger and you may not have seen some of those legends play or heard about some of those legends, then this is definitely the channel for you because that's all I focus on. So I would definitely recommend subscribing. And if that's something you enjoy, guys, I would greatly appreciate if you would posterize that like button. That would help me out a great deal. And with that being said, guys, let's get into today's video. So, guys, when I think about underrated players, I think about Oscar Robertson a lot, right? Because when you ask someone, who do you feel is the greatest point guards of all time? You'll hear Magic, you'll hear Steph, you'll hear John Stockton, you'll hear CP3, you'll hear Steve Nash, and guys like that. And while those guys are, were or either, they are or were really really good point guards, um, I feel like Oscar is right there, right there with them. You know, um, it was just he was able to do so much, and I just feel like because Oscar really didn't have success until later in his career, when he joined the Bucks and Lou Alcindor, um, I really think that hurt his career, right? And people kind of looked at him the way that people today look at Russell Westbrook. They feel that he was just a stat patter, and that he wasn't about winning and things like that. And it's very unfortunate. It's actually kind of funny though, because when I think of Oscar Robertson, right, or when people say the players of those eras, right, that when they say that they don't, they weren't athletic, or they weren't as athletic as players of today. First player I actually think about is Oscar Robertson, and I'm sure you guys remember the photo where he's getting the rebound and he's essentially doing the splits in the air. Um, that just goes to show you how athletic he was. And then you've also got guys like Wilt and his tremendous speed along with his size and his jumping ability. I mean, guys, it was just I really feel like that's a myth, right? That players, of that era, weren't necessarily as athletic as players of today. I feel like, regardless of what era you're talking about, if you're talking about a truly great player, they're going to hold their own, throughout any era of basketball. Um, but with that being said, guys, let's get into today's build. Okay. Now, when I was looking, what should I use for Oscar? Because he was a good shooter. He was obviously you want the playmaking in there because he was amazing at facilitating. He also had a nice little hook, and he was good at finishing around the basket. And he was a tremendous rebounder as well, right? So I took all of that into consideration, and I looked at all the pie charts, right? And if we look at this, guys, we look at this pie chart. I really feel like this is the best one. This is going to be the one that gives you the best Oscar Robertson build, right? Simply because the playmaking's there, your rebounding's there. You're going to have a good shot. You're going to be able to finish around the basket. There's a couple different ways that you could do this. I'll show you, one way, and then I'll show you another. As far as when you're picking the attributes, and you just choose, whichever way that you want to go with it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna choose the defense and playmaking. And look at this, guys. I mean, look, if you were to go pure speed with this build, right? You're going to have a speed of 95 with an acceleration of 94. But me personally, guys, because you're going to want to be able to grab those boards and you are going to be a bit undersized, I feel like you do want that vertical. So I'm going to go with the speed invert on this one. And guys, the first way you could do this, right? You could go ahead, you could max out your close shot, your driving layup, your driving dunk, and your post hook. You want to max out your mid range, your 3-point shot. Now if you want to put anything on your free throw on your post fade, you can. You can take it away from other parts. But this is the way that I feel like you would want to do this build. Um, and like I said, I mean, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this. Okay, so this is one way that you could do this. And you've got 11 finishing, 23 playmaking, 12 rebounding, and of course you've got the one shooting. Now, if you didn't want it to go this route, okay, and you wanted more defense, for instance, right? And so you take away your post hook, right? And I think we'll still be able to get that up to 9 with doing this, but I'll kind of show you. Actually, I think it was this way. Yeah, we'll do it this way. And then that leaves us with those 8. And then when we put these 8 on there, that gets us up to 9. So if you wanted to go this route, you could. That'll be 9 finishing, 1 shooting, 23 playmaking, and 20 defensive and rebounding badges. It really depends on, do you want your player to have more finishing badges or do you want more of those defensive badges? Now, I will tell you, remember, you did choose Defensive Hall of Fame, so having more defensive badges could really be helpful and be beneficial for you. So for that very reason, that's the reason why I would go this way. But again, you could do it, any way that you want. We'll just go with solid for this. We'll do 6'5". He was listed at 205. Now, guys, I mean, look, if I were you, I would go up just 1 point for your wingspan because that only gives you pluses and it takes away nothing. Okay, so I really feel like that's the best way to do that. And let's look where that leaves us. Okay, so we know that on the left we're going to get a +4 to everything once we reach 99, right? So we're going to have an 89 close shot, an 88 driving layup, a 83 driving dunk, which that means you're going to be able to finish around the basket really, really well, especially because you're going to be a taller point guard. You'll be able to finish with no problem. Now, you also have a mid-range shot of 78, which, guys, in 2K22, a 78 mid-range, you could be very deadly with that. And you're also going to have a 3-point shot of 70, which, again, in 22, guys, you could be very, very deadly with that. You could do well. You'll have a pass accuracy of 90 with ball handling of 89. So you'll be able to get a lot of those dribble packages and things like that. And then this is where this is what makes this build really, really shine, right? Because you are taller, so that's going to give you bonuses automatically on your defense. But the fact that you're going to have a perimeter defense of 89 as well as lateral quickness, and then you're going to have a steal of 95 with a offensive rebound of 72 and a defensive rebound of 79. So you'll certainly be able to grab those boards and do really, really well with that. Now, guys, I mean, with this, you could really, I mean, you really, it's whichever way you would prefer to go, right? I feel like, with a Oscar build, I just feel like this right here, a playmaker take would work really, really well with it. And if you look, you've got a 2-way playmaker with shades of Baron Davis. And look at their Alonzo Ball. So, I know that there's a way that you can get shades of Oscar Robertson in this game, guys. But as we saw with James Worthy, it's, I've seen that and I've done that. And I'm like, it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like an Oscar Robertson build, right? So let's go ahead and let's get into, and by the way, guys, I'm going to redo that James Worthy, build with the way that I feel it, James Worthy build should be. Along with another small forward, another great small forward that was taken, in the same draft as Worthy. That's going to be coming too this week. So, yeah, I am looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. So, guys, for your finishing look, you really, I mean, you could do, whatever you prefer. Me personally, I feel like you would want to do acrobat. If you're going to be someone that does backing down smaller guards a lot, you could definitely do that. You could do Limitless Takeoff. You could do Giant Slayer. Um, you could do, I feel like Fearless Finisher is really a good one, and Slithery Finisher is also a good one. But you could do any of these, and it would be fine, I feel. But I just feel like, for me personally, I like those three. For your one shooting badge, guys, like what I would do is just like always, I would do Hot Zone Hunter. Just that way, once you get those hot zones, it's going to just boost the ability of making that shot. Um, Now for this, guys, I would do Bullet Passer, Dimer. Um, I would do Quick First Step. You could do Space Creator if you wanted to. I would definitely do Unpluckable though. Um, you could do Needle Threader. You could do Floor General. What I would do is I would do Floor General on Gold, and then I would do probably Needle Threader on Hall of Fame. Now, if you plan on playing this in the post a lot because you're a bigger point guard, you could certainly do that as well. You could, go post playmaker instead. But I feel like this is a pretty good, a pretty good layout for, for an Oscar Robertson build. So, and guys, for this, we know that we want Rebound Chaser because we want to be able to get those rebounds, and that's going to help boost that. You're going to want, you're going to want Clamps. You want Intimidator. You want Interceptor, right? And then, you could pretty much look, and just choose the other ones that you want. If you want to go a couple different ways, you could. You could do Pickpocket. And then if you want to help your rebounding even more, you could do Worm. Or you could do Box. It's really, it's whatever way you prefer. You could do Pogo Stick or Chase Down Artist. It's really ever how you really want to do the build, right? But for me personally, guys, I feel like that's a really good badge layout for Oscar Robertson as well. You'll be able to, with that Rebound Chaser on Hall of Fame, that's going to boost your ability to get those rebounds. So yeah, I definitely think that'll help you out a great deal. There you have it, guys. That's what I feel like it was a really good Oscar Robertson build. And guys, especially if you're someone that's younger, and if you like guys like Westbrook, you should definitely go watch Oscar Robertson. Now, I wouldn't say that Robertson, he to me, he's not as flashy as Westbrook is, but he was a very efficient player, right? He was more efficient than Westbrook, and that means a lot. So guys, if you haven't seen him play, just like I said, just go check him out. You won't be upset about it. You won't be disappointed at all. He was a tremendous player, and I just wish that more people would talk about Oscar Robertson and give him the credit that he deserves because Kareem really said it best, right? A lot of people may feel like Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, but a lot of those people didn't see Oscar Robertson play. And I know that him and Kareem were teammates, but still, guys. He was a really good player. He was just he was at a time when Kareem and Wilt, and Jerry West, there was just a lot of really really good players that were playing during the same time. So there you have it, guys. If you've not seen him play, definitely go watch him play. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd greatly appreciate if you'd posterize that like button. And if you enjoy those legends of the game, guys, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel. But with that being said, have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.